Good morning, my fairy tale things. Happy winter season. I had to put a jacket on because it's so cold today. Anyways, I've been working on some other videos lately, and I ended up staring at the poster for Shrek the Third, and decided, you know what? This is bothering me so much. I'm gonna make a video on it. I am, because why not? Because I have the Shrek soapbox to ramble on, and somebody will watch this, and I just think it's funny. So grab a cup of coffee and listen to me ramble about a movie poster from a 15-year-old animated kids movie that nobody has looked at since Obama was president. Yep, filler video. So movie posters are very important because they make a first impression. Say you're at the theater and you see a poster that interests you and you wonder, what's that movie gonna be, you know? So I'm a big fan of film preservation, and it really pleases me when a DVD has the original movie poster as the cover, or one of the original movie posters. Like, most classic movies have multiple posters, and usually they're all pretty good. Sometimes you'll get a dud, but for most of the time they're pretty good. And Shrek here uses the classic poster of all four characters lined up behind the logo. It's classy, it's great. Shrek 2 came around, and Dreamworks decided to make a new render for the front cover, not the movie poster. Disappointing, but I will say I do like that the render fits in line with this one, because they're both group shots, and it shows how the group has changed between the movies. Even Dreamworks realized this was a huge mistake, clearly, because when the Blu-ray release came around, many years later, not part of the box set, but the independent Blu-ray release, which, God, I think this didn't come out all the way until 2017 or 2018. Point is, it used the theatrical poster. So now we have both Shrek films in home media with their theatrical posters. Pretty nice. And then we have Shrek the Third. Here's the DVD release for Shrek the Third. Very popular holiday item in 2007.
I think that was it, you guys. Well, we could go get Shrek the Third. We're saving $1.
And you're thinking, wow, what a poster. It's got all the characters. It kind of fits in line with the other movies. And it is classy. It's nice. I like it. But this is not the theatrical movie poster. This was made up for the home media release. And the Shrek 2 one, if you look at it, this one here, this was made quickly. This is existing promotional art of the characters rearranged on the cover. But this one, they made this from scratch and rendered it. They put a lot of work into this cover. It's really, really nice. And when the Blu-ray came around, they used it too. But this is not the poster. For the 3D release, that's right, Shrek the Third was during that weird 3D era where everyone thought 3D Blu-ray and TVs were going to be the next big thing. They got really creative with their own cover. Also, not the poster. They made this bizarre render where, for some reason, Fiona's dress is pink. It's blue in the movie. It's not pink. I don't know why they did that. And then for the video game, they just made something completely new. A classy group shot with Shrek with the crown on. They're both kind of, they both have him with the crown on because the becoming the king was a plot point in that movie. But anyways, I was looking at these in my collection and I was thinking, why didn't they use any of the theatrical posters? And then I thought, wait a second, what was the poster for Shrek the Third? Because, I could even imagine the poster for Shrek 4 in my head. It was it was, Rumpelstiltskin and all the bad guys on one side, and then Shrek and the ogres on the other side, and it said, it all ends here, or something like that, the final chapter, right? I have a good idea of what that poster is. Even the Puss in Boots poster, I can picture in my head perfectly. It's him when he's walking down the street, and it's got a very orange tint. But what was the poster for Shrek the Third? So I decided to look up what the poster was, and boy howdy, all these doozies. I would actually say that the posters for Shrek the Third are not just the worst of the Shrek quadrilogy. No. These are the worst movie posters in cinema. You can't convince me otherwise. These are horrific. So we'll start off with what is widely considered the main poster for Shrek the Third, and what should have been on the DVD cover It's Shrek, Puss, Donkey, Fiona, and a little Gingy at the top there with the flag, and it says, he's in for the royal treatment. So this kind of gets the idea across that it's going to be about becoming a king, very medieval, more medieval than the previous movies, right? Shrek's always been fantasy, but this one's about taking the crown. And Shrek is partially done up in his fancy king's outfit. Anyone remember Raoul, that great character? I will see what I can do, and, makes Shrek and Fiona fancy. And then there's Fiona in her maternity dress and Donkey with a knight's helmet. And behind them is the S logo. Thematically, this poster fits right in with the first movie because you've got that group shot of all the characters in front of the logo. And, from a composition and design standpoint, it's pretty solid. It looks nice. I like the focus on the color purple, which is very royal. But my only real problem with this poster, and this is indicative of all of the merchandising and branding of Shrek the Third, especially the toys, they really played up this royal thing, It says, he's in for the royal treatment at the top. But he really isn't. Shrek gives up the crown like 6.5 minutes into the movie, and he gives it to the Artie Pendragon. And most of the movie is about Artie Pendragon's arc. Shrek kind of takes a back seat, and there's like 100 B plots, right? You've got Fiona and the princesses, and Puss and Donkey swapping bodies, and it's so much stuff going on. I feel like the movie just loses a lot of focus. So in this case, the poster is not horrible, but it is a very disappointing poster. It's misleading. And to me, a movie poster completely fails when it's misleading. A poster should give you at least the vague idea of what the movie's gonna be. And this one doesn't give you that at all. Not only Shrek in his royal outfit, which you're not even gonna see, he's in it for like a second in the movie, but heck, the promise of all four of these characters, Shrek, Puss, Donkey, and Fiona together for an adventure, is kind of a lie. They're barely together in the movie. The omission of Artie is very interesting. Artie should be front and center on this poster. It's his movie. He's the only one in the film with a real character arc. I guess you have Shrek learning to become a dad with accepting that he's going to have a kid. That's like another plot point in Shrek the Third. But even that is not hinted at on this poster. So let's just break it down. Shrek's in the king outfit, so it sets up that you're getting a different type of movie. Disappointing. The whole gang is all together when they're not in the movie. Disappointing. And Artie isn't here when Artie's a big part of the movie. Disappointing. So this poster, the guy who designed it probably, he did a nice job with the renders he was given. But from a advertising standpoint, boo. But that's okay, because it's about to get a whole lot worse. So this one's a little classier. It's definitely more of a teaser poster. Just says the Third with Shrek with the crown on his head. Once again, tricking you into thinking this is a movie about Shrek becoming king when it isn't. It isn't at all. But folks, that was just the icing on the cake, because there's a much worse Shrek the Third poster that was used to promote the movie in theaters here in the USA and abroad. Look at it. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's a disaster. It's a disaster of a poster. Look how much is going on. Okay, let's just take it from the top. It says the wait is ogre. Okay, that's nice. We've been waiting a long time for Shrek the Third. Shrek 2 made a lot of money. And then it's got a 3 with the ogre ears. Okay, I'm vibing with that. Makes sense. And then you go down, and we've got Fiona with a baby carriage because she's going to be pregnant in the movie, but she's in the wrong dress. They have her in the green dress from the middle of Shrek 2. The baby stroller she's pushing is the one from the dream sequence. It's not the actual baby. Then you've got Shrek here with the crown on in this kind of running render, and Puss and Donkey, and Gingy, Pinocchio, and for some reason the 3 blind mice, and they're running down the streets of Far, Far Away, which is odd because they're barely at Far, Far Away in the movie. I guess during the end when they take it back, but at that point it's already like evil Far, Far Away, right? When it gets taken over by Prince Charming. This poster is just a mess. There's way too much going on. There's way too many characters. And just like the last poster, Artie, our new main character, is not present, which tells me that the marketing department and DreamWorks corporate as a whole had very little faith in the character of Audie. And it's not like Audie was just some second-note side character. Like, go rewatch Shrek the Third if you haven't. They really, like, tried to make Audie a thing. Like, I'm half convinced that Shrek the Third was some sort of backdoor pilot for a series of Audie movies led by Justin Timberlake. It just seems so odd. Like, they were so into this character and gave him such a focus. But he's not on the poster. And, you know, this poster just promises you a fun romp with the Shrek gang, which Shrek the Third is definitely not. And why the 3 blind mice? Why? Okay, so somebody at DreamWorks said this poster was a train wreck, and they updated it when the date came out. So notice how the first one says coming soon at the bottom, and then now it says May 18th. And this poster is a small improvement. The saturation is up, so it's a bit greener, although that could just be the lighting from the other one, being a photo of an old theater. Notably, the backdrop of Far, Far Away is removed, and that cleans things up a lot. But it still doesn't look right. There's just way too many characters, and none of it seems to blend together. Like, the scale is not working. I get, like, Shrek is running forward, so he's supposed to be larger than Fiona and the other characters, but the perspective is just not, I'm not vibing with it. But then you have Japan, and Japan said, no, hold my beer. That poster is just not complicated enough. We need to just take it and go to the wall with it. Look at this, man. Look at this train wreck. So Japan decided to add in the evil version of Far, Far Away from the end of the movie. So you've got Prince Charming and all of his witches. I even see the Headless Horseman and Captain Hook there in the sky. They made the castle bigger. They added in Audie and all of the princesses, which makes more sense because they're big parts of the movie. But at the same time, now you've got just so much going on. This poster is so detailed, so dense. Just looking at it gives me a migraine. But believe it or not, Japan does not have the worst Shrek the Third poster, because it gets much worse from here. Now we've got the girls poster, and this is supposed to be like the subplot where Fiona and the princesses break out of Charming's castle. And this is a fine poster. I like that all the princesses are here. Even Doris, thank God for Doris. For some reason, Gingy and the fairy tale friends are here. That's a little weird. But it says Girls Gone Medieval at the top. It's supposed to be like a take on Girls Gone Wild. DreamWorks, what the that's a weird choice. And then the 3. This is a different take on the number 3 logo than the other poster. That one was like thicker, and this one is like skinnier. It looks really weird. Like, if you look at the top, it almost looks like someone did a really rough job in Adobe Illustrator. Like, it doesn't look even. It looks really messy and really amateurish. Then moving on, we have this disaster. This is horrific. I don't know where this was used, but I did find it online as an official DreamWorks promotional image. And it's the number 3. Shrek is like jumping on top of it. He's doing this very athletic jump. Like, is this the Shrek from that Xbox game where he can jump around like crazy? The number 3, it's that same horrible 3 from the Girls Gone Medieval poster. Way too skinny looking. And grouping all these characters around this skinny looking 3 is such a bad idea. Why is Fiona there in the center? She's way bigger than the other characters. And where is the rest of Fiona? She just kind of like disappears into the 3. I'm like imagining all these characters peeking out from the 3, and they're just like hiding behind it, and it's like really narrow in the back of the 3, and they're all just like on top of each other. I don't know, just bad poster. And we've got these character posters. Oh, these are rough. So here's Shrek, Donkey, and Puss. This one's fine. I actually have no complaints about this poster. Well, maybe I have one complaint. So if you look at Shrek and Donkey, Shrek should have a shadow behind him, a drop shadow, because Donkey just kind of blends into him, and it almost looks like he's wearing a donkey hat, like a headband of Donkey cut in half. Like, just a little bit of drop shadow, just a little bit. Come on, DreamWorks, like, the smallest little bit of Photoshop could have helped us. The smallest bit. Oh no, this one. Okay, this poster is so bad. It's Fiona, and she's doing her karate pose, and that's a great render of Fiona from the third film. But for some reason, they've tilted her, And they've put the other princesses on her back, like Fiona is carrying the weight of the world. And maybe she is. Ogress Fiona is always down on her luck. As we've covered the Shrek merchandise in this channel, they made merchandise of all of the Shrek princesses, but never Ogress Fiona. So maybe this poster's symbolic that Fiona's carrying the weight. It's really bad design. I have to tilt my head to look at Fiona, right, without hurting my brain. And there's these other princess characters, and it's just so bad. It says charmed and dangerous, and I don't know what that's a reference to. I thought it may have been a reference to Armed and Dangerous, the John Candy movie. And maybe the poster could have worked if it was like Fiona in an aviator's outfit. And it was like a parody poster. I don't know. Something. Give us something, Dreamworks. And then we have the Artie poster. And this poster right here, this horrible poster, it's Artie with all of these sea level characters. You've got Merlin and the Big Bad Wolf. And it says, the boy who would be king. This should have been the actual poster for the movie. Because this is not deceptive marketing. This tells you what you're getting. Like, yep, Shrek the Third, a movie about a bunch of side characters. Enjoy Justin Timberlake as a king. Yay. So this poster is just, very mediocre. It looks like Artie is, knocked silly in the head. And he's just, he has the little dronkies spinning around his head. Like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon with the birds. And he's just smiling like, I'm Artie. And he's got all the birds, dronkies, flying around his head. This is what happens to Artie when he meets persuasion and reason. This is persuasion, and this is reason. I hope I got that line right. I've watched Shrek the Third way too many times to know stuff like that. And Japan comes in with the clutch. That's right, you didn't think they could do it, but Japan made the best Shrek the Third poster. They also made the worst, but they made the best. It's just awesome. I love the minimalist design, just the plain white with the side profiles of each character cut. It's classy, it's clean, it's different. It's a type of poster we haven't seen from the Shrek movies. We haven't done this type of graphic design poster. It's just very interesting. It's not just, a bunch of renders thrown together on a backdrop. I like it. It reminds me of the poster for Knuckles Chaotix. Seriously. So those are the awful Shrek the Third posters, and I've had these in the back of my mind. I was at my flea market last week. I went into a DVD booth, and look what I found. This is a bootleg of Shrek the Third, and whoever designed it had a passion for graphic design, because they decided to take all of the bad Shrek the Third posters, all of them, and put them all into one DVD. Look at this monstrosity of a cover. You've got the logo in totally wrong. There's that horrible poster with all the characters running. And it's got the Artie poster, and even a charming poster that, I didn't look at in this video, but yeah, there's a charming one as well. I could have spent all day on this, but I have better things to do with my life than talk about Shrek the Third posters. But moving to the back, we have that horrible render with the awful Fiona Charmed and Dangerous poster. This is like the unholy duality of Shrek the Third posters. You have both bad posters in one physical space. Just to have physical proof that these posters were used in Shrek the Third items breaks my heart. Of course, this is a bootleg, but if a bootlegger can get access to these posters, then anyone can. And who's to say that these horrible posters did not plague theaters across the nation? Because they did in 2007. They did. So to conclude, I do not blame Dreamworks when it came time to make the DVD. They probably prototyped some stuff like this and said, screw it, we're just going to make our own nice, clean renders. So, while most of the time I prefer DVDs to have one of the original posters used for marketing the movie, in this case, I don't blame Dreamworks for making their own render. And we're going to retcon history and say that this was the poster all along for Shrek the Third, as it should be. Okay, that's all for this episode. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and have a happily ever after.